Hey everybody, welcome to another model building workshop. We're going to start construction of the Dornier Do 17E/F from Airfix. We're doing model building with the Providence Community Library. I'm Mr. Allen. I'm at the Smith Hill Library here in Providence, Rhode Island. And let's get started on this, shall we? So this is the vintage Airfix kit. It's been around a long time, and I built this when I was a kid. I thought it was a lot of fun then, and let's see if it still is. So I think I showed you last time that I got some of the interior painting and things like that I had done already. And we'll see how well this goes. It's the tiny parts, but if I can get it to. So I had the crew worked on. So I'm going to be doing this German bomber. I mean, the box art shows one that was presumably active in Poland from the painting here, although the instruction sheet says that it's a 1937 Luftwaffe aircraft. But I'm going to be doing it in a Croatian scheme for later in the war, pretty much like this one here. So it's going to be a dark blue. I mean, yeah. Woo, colorblind. Dark green over the light blue with the yellow Eastern Front theater markings and that checkerboard red and white Croatian emblem. That's something I picked up a separate set of decals for. The only reason I'm doing that is I built this one already that you can see here a while back. So I want to try something a little different. Of course, I built it as a kid, so I still have it, believe it or not. But I kind of wanted to try something a little different. So I'm working on some of the interior pieces. And let's see how this all goes together, because I remember, like I said, I actually built more than one of these as a kid. Because I guess they were readily available. And when you have an appetite for building models, you want to, build what you can find, and this is a common kit when I was a kid. So in some cases you build what's at the store, and sometimes you just build it again. Let me see if I can get this to fit in. Not really liking how that's going. This is the instrument panel. There's a two-piece assembly here. Not completely sure how that's really supposed to go. Well, we'll find out. This is an older kit, so some of the detail in the interior is a little lacking. It's very basic kit from that time period. I'm assuming this is from like the early 70s, it's my guess. The original. Just going by my own lifespan. That didn't work at all. Okay. That did. Not work in the slightest. Well, that's not a good beginning. Okay, maybe that's it. All right. Different crew positions in the aircraft here. So you have to watch the direction of where the pins are on these seats to fit them in the appropriate spot. Of course, it'll be obvious when you are trying to assemble it. There's only one possible solution, so. All right, so he's on that side. All right, it does show a radio console. Which is here. Didn't do a whole lot of detailing on this because from experience of building this kit in the past, you can really see next to nothing through the windows. Although the plastic, clear plastic, was pretty decent here. But my older one, there's not a whole lot you really saw on that. Maybe it's because the glass just wasn't quite a good clear molding, so you really couldn't see through it. I think this is supposed to be a radio thing. And like I said, if this was something that had a window right near it where you would see all of this detail, I'd be more apt to try to detail that up. But this is behind the pilot and the crew, so the odds you've seen any of that are pretty slim. But at least there's some color there, because you don't want to have this glaring light blue piece screaming at you. If it did, you know, have any visibility, you want it to be like, you know, so. All right, so that sits in there pretty well. That's the radio panel there. I think this is a gunner. That doesn't make a lot of sense. Yeah, that's not going terribly well. I may have done something wrong with this. Or maybe the bar behind him has been broken and damaged. It looks like it might be, because it doesn't give him any room to sit in there. That looks pretty terrible. Yeah, I don't know what to do with that. All right, let me try to get this in a way that you can see this. So he's supposed to go over here, and he's really smushed in there. That does not look at all comfortable or reasonable. I'm not sure how to get him in there where it looks somewhat normal. Because that looks preposterous. There's a window below him. Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to get that in there. That I may not put in, because I don't know how to get that to sit in here right in a way that would look reasonable. So, okay, well, let's take a look at how this is going to be. Okay. This looks a bit crowded here. It does worry me when they don't want to go together, and these pieces do not seem to want to. gonna be a fun kit, because this is not agreeing with me at all. Some of these pins may have to be sanded down in order to get the parts to sit in, because this pin on the fuselage back here is not having it. And that looks warped around the wing, where the wing is. It's not even lying flat. So there's a number of things that look like extreme red flags here. I would like to get this guy in there because there is a pretty large, you can see right through there, there's a large window here. So you can certainly see in there. I have to come up with some solution to that. Not thrilled with how that's working, but I'm gonna get creative with this. There's a window underneath his feet, which I may have to glue him somehow in there. Okay, let's try to get in this other crew member in the front here. See if that helps any. Sometimes it can be fun building these kits you remember as a kid, as an adult, and then, I mean, somehow I slapped this thing together back then. I'm kind of curious how and what I did. Or if I just didn't worry about some of the details. Yeah, that pin's gonna have to go. There's no way that's not gonna work without that being cut and sanded. All right, so the crew is sitting one behind the other. The instrument panel seems like that is cooperating, so that's a bonus. Although there's a lot of warped. Yeah, a lot of very warped. Yeah, it's gonna take a lot of work to get this to line up correctly. May have to take all of these locating pins off. Yeah, I wish I didn't follow that. Now, I'll have to figure out how to put him in. Let me pause this, clean some of this up, and we'll get back to this in a second. Okay, so I ended up drilling a hole in the floor to put that shaft through to get him in there. This machine gun is oddly going through his legs. It's just no well, the detail in this model could be a lot better. It is old, and we'll see what it looks like when it's assembled. I'm going to try to put the two fuselage halves together. I did cut a lot of the locating pins off in here because they just didn't line up with the holes properly and created a awkward fit, to say the least. So I saved a couple that seemed to work right. So it does seem like it's going to be a big problem throughout this kit, is these poor fitting location tabs. So I'm going to try to see if I can sandwich these two fuselage halves together, see if I can get them to work. There's a lot of things that just didn't really want to work out too well for me here. I mean, as a kid, I think I just put this thing together. I don't think I really worried so much about all the interior painting and things like that. So in that sense, it's probably not that bad of a kit for a beginner to just, you know, glue it together without worrying about all the detail. So I can understand that to a degree, why I have fond memories of this kit, because I don't think I really worried about all of that. You know, just think I built it and that was that. I painted the outside. Of course, I didn't spray paint or airbrush anything back then. I just, you know, used a brush, and today I have slightly different methods of working. And I was trying to get the control panel, not the control panel, the control stick for the pilot, and that was awkward too. That took a lot of reworking to make that fit. Okay, here we go. And this tail wheel assembly, again, I had to take all the locating pins off because that did not even pretend to fit properly. You know, it's completely off. So I took the pins out, sanded it down really good, and then I was able to recreate, you know, where the part should fit, and it's fine now. I like the way that this is working. Yeah, this is challenging. Getting these seams lined up correctly is not going as well as I would like. It's an awkward shape too, so that might make it harder to get rubber bands on, but we'll find out. I do see a lot of putty having to go into this seam along the top here. That's not going terribly well. I think the front doesn't look too bad. Although, yeah, looking at the underside, all right, so if you get the top, the underside is a little off. Yes, it's got a number of issues. Yeah, sanding and filing is going to be the story with this kit. Okay, I'm going to stop it there. I mean, about 20 minutes in here, and me wrestling with this. So, this is an old kit, and you're going to be seeing a lot of the issues that you run into with kits of this vintage, you know. Some awkward fits, odd seams, a little weak on some details, but I still think it's going to turn out to be a decent looking plane and everything once I paint it and everything. We'll see. Okay, thanks for watching. Catch you guys next time on the Model Building Workshop. Bye now.